So, guys, we're here today with two people that I have no problem telling you are idols to me, people I admire a lot. Hey, come on, Leo. You're the guy I tell everyone about. You're my mentor, man. I learn a lot from you. You know that? It's a pleasure to have you here in Floripa. And man, I've been following Kiewpayak big throughout his whole fighting career. I've followed him and his brothers for a long time, right? Yes. So, guys, I'm here with these two. We have this habit of calling them legends right here on Manezinho Fala.
It sounds a lot. I feel old now.
But man, let's talk a little about the careers of these two great athletes and coach, right? Leo, I'll start with you, my brother, especially because I don't speak Thai.
So,
Keo will help us out here. Leo, tell us a little about your story, man. How did it start?
well, I started in Rio Grande do Sul very young, when I was about 11 or 12 years old, and then I started competing at 13.
Was it right there in Porto?
I started training, but it was pretty inconsistent.
Who was it with there, Leo?
With
I don't remember.
I remember it was a neighborhood gym. Yeah, a neighborhood gym. But then I went to Sao Paulo. I started training more seriously in Sao Paulo, much more seriously in Sao Paulo. And I believe I really became a professional with Veras, with Francisco Veras.
Then with Vera's there, yeah.
That's when I started fighting professionally and really training at a professional level, really starting to become an athlete. And then I stayed with him, and he was my coach in Brazil my whole life.
In that,
I think around that.
around that,
Around that.
you ended up at Never Shake, right?
He taught there, but I trained with him elsewhere.
Oh, I met Vera's there, yeah.
So he was from there, and there was a time when he stayed there with Pilot Noi, right? That's who they talk about as Pilot here, right? They say Piranjo Noi, but in Thailand we say Pilot Noi. Pilot, that's it. And Veras took care of them, and that's why Veras already had a thank God. I had the privilege of training with a guy who had trained kickboxing at a high level in Europe, who had already done a lot of things in Europe. And having trained extensively in boxing and Muay Thai, and having lived with the Thai people for a long time, he already had a very good foundation, and thank God he taught me. I had the privilege at a time when not everyone had the privilege of knowing things like that, and he taught me very well. Back then, I had already gained a solid basic understanding of these things. I kept fighting and training with him for years until I moved to Thailand when I was 20, almost 21, and I've been there ever since.
When was that?
Leo, 2010?
2010 as well?
2010, yeah, 2010. It's coming up on 16 years now.
You've been there for 16 years.
Yeah, that's it, 16 years that I've been there.
I also went there in around that same time, but I always go back and forth.
I went and only came back to visit my family and give seminars. Wow, my first time I stayed there 5 years without returning.
Yeah, guys, I met Leo in 2014. I used to go to Muay Thai Plaza.
Yeah, I remember.
And man, after I met you, after I also met Puke, because it's a lot like Florianopolis.
We were talking about this today. It really reminds me, Florianopolis really reminds me of Puke. Yeah, it's very similar. The style of the houses, the way the city is and everything.
What's Puke's population?
You got me there, I don't know. But I think roughly speaking, if I'm not mistaken, I think Floripa must be bigger than Puke, I think. How many inhabitants does Floripa have?
Because it has 700,000.
Yeah, there are more people there for sure, I think, definitely. But I think that in terms of proportion, I believe it's similar in size, like the size. I believe it must be similar. Cool. And it really reminds me, like, it's by the beach, but it's still a big city. It's a big place.
That really does have both sides.
Right? It has industry jobs. There are a lot of things on one side.
The south side of Puke is different from the north side, like us here on the north side, which is much more working class.
The side that deals much more with fighting, with sports. And there's another side that's much more about parties, tourism.
And it's just like here, right? The north there is parties, tourism. The south is about fighting. That's right.
That's right.
Here, the south is surfing, and the north is the party scene up there. That's it. Cool, brother. And talk a little bit about that, okay? Help us translate what it's like to come from a family with such a strong tradition.
เป็นอะไรเป็นคนมาจากครอบครัวที่มันทำมวยตั้งแต่เด็กๆเนี่ยไม่เคยรู้จักอะไรที่ไม่ใช่มวยมันเป็นอะไรมันมาจากไม่ใช่ทุกคนมีครอบครัว
I'm someone who comes from a family that's been involved in boxing since I was a kid. I've never known anything other than boxing. Not everyone has a family where everyone does boxing. It's something special. It's a part of me.
คิดว่าง่ายกว่าไหมมันก็อยู่ที่ความตั้งใจของเราด้วยแต่ว่าง่ายไหมมันก็พื้นฐานผมคิดว่าถ้าเกิดเด็กธรรมดากับผมแล้วอ่ะผมคิดว่าพื้นฐานผมน่าจะดีกว่าเพราะว่าถ้าเป็นครอบครัวแล้วอ่ะเราจำความได้อย่างเงี้ยเรา
It also depends on our determination, but is it easy? Well, it's basic. I think if you compare ordinary kids to me, I think my basics might be better because in my family we really have differences. Other kids go play at the playground, but for us we run and play elsewhere. It depends on what you want, but is it easy? It's just basic. I think if you compare ordinary kids to me, my basics might be better because in my family we remember our determination. Other kids go play at the playground, but we run and play at a training ground, run and play at a camp, but it also has a basic foundation.
The difference of being born into a family of fighters is that he believes when you are born into a family like that, your foundation is already stronger than others. Because if someone fights and then you go home normally with someone who has nothing to do with fighting. He says, I was raised in the middle of fighting. When my brothers were older and I wasn't fighting yet, I was bringing them water. I was there playing with the punching bag, watching them train. So his life was inside the gym. Before he even started training and fighting himself, he was already watching his brothers train and fight to get ready for their matches.
And how old was he in his first fight?
So he was there, the athletes, him with it.
I started doing Muay Thai, and after 2 or 3 months, I started to.
He started training, and in 2 or 3 months, he had his first fight. He was 8 years old, and
How many fights does he have today?
I'm excited. I'm here talking.
ต่อยกี่ไฟล์แล้ว
So let's hold on for another 300 now.
He definitely has people, for sure.
For those who have never been, a Thai fighter never goes beyond 300 or 400 fights. They've passed that a long time ago, but they never say they've had more than about 300.
He has more than that. He must have almost 400, but they kind of round it off.
And how many, Leo, at the high performance level? For those who don't know, El Aruque, Panachi, and the brothers, how many of the best are there?
They are 4 brothers, and the first 2 brothers are their coaches. They were their coaches for many years until they were coached by me. And now the last 2 are him and Kiewpayak, who are the 2 most famous of the 4.
How many best in Thailand? How many titles of best in Thailand do they already have?
There's one who was less famous, but he was a good fighter. And then there's Kiewpayak, who was a very famous fighter, Kiewpayak Fatix, who is a coach there at the gym. He was a great fighter, a very famous fighter, a fighter who earned more than 100,000 baht. That's what we say when the guy is really something. Their peak is when they manage to reach that value. A fighter who gets more than 100,000 baht to fight in a stadium bout. And then those 2 who became very famous, Kiewpayak, who is Kiewpayak.
How many titles? What is it? Is it Yod Muay Thai?
It's called Yod Muay Thai.
The
Yod Muay Thai.
It's Muay. We call it Yod Muay Thai. Yod from Muay Thai.
And what is Muay Thai?
The Yod Muay has 5 titles.
Or is it at Ratchadamnon, or is it at
ลุงยอดเยี่ยม2 ปีติด
Ratchadamnoen, or is it further away?
ดำเนินคิดว่า
Ratchadamnoen, Arunfini Cultural, Arunfini Ramsan, and originally thought Ratchadamnoen 2 lines, and then or hombres. And then I got a 3 boxing record, a 2-year wrestling, and a 3-year boxing record, 3 lines.
He was already Thailand's breakout fighter, and then he became the Lumpini champion. And after that, he was Fighter of the Year in 2019. His brother is a 3-time Raja champion. No, a 2-time Raja champion and a 3-time Lumpini champion. And he was Rookie of the Year for 2 consecutive years and Best Fighter of Thailand for 3 consecutive years. That's something that has never happened, guys. Being Fighter of the Year even once is already very difficult, really hard to achieve. It's a huge accomplishment.
No foreigner who follows can achieve that, right?
They don't even compete. No, right? They don't even compete. No foreigner has ever been in contention at that level, not even once.
And do you already have any foreigners worth more than 100,000 baht?
So among my guys, the one who got the closest to that was Lobo. It was Lobo. Lobo was the guy who made it to a 5-house stadium. He was the one who got the farthest. Like in terms of winning, he almost made 100,000 baht nice.
The kid is good, right?
He was, that's what I say. It's one thing to win that money outside of Thailand. It's another thing to win it there and fight the guys he fought. when they ask him where he met me, he always says this. He says, I saw Lobo Kahaiba fighting in events where foreigners don't fight. At that time, foreigners didn't fight in those events, and even today in stadiums, events we used to call Kriyakai, which are the special events at Lumpini, the special events at Raja. The champions who aren't fighting are there watching. The young guys used to fight in these events, and he used to say, where did this foreigner come from? Why is this foreigner fighting? And not only is he fighting, he fights well, and he beats the Thais. So he went looking, and then he found me. He saw who was training him, because whenever you spot a good fighter, you want to know where he's from and who's guiding him. Then he found me, he started following me, watching me on the internet, and from that he started checking out the gym more.
And now I'm going to ask that question that everyone asks, right? And Leo, what do you feel? Being sought out by, imagine a soccer coach being sought out by Ronaldinho to coach him, Ronaldinho Gaucho.
Right? One question, I'm going to be serious. These days I have such a crazy relationship with these guys that to me they're not superstars or anything like that. They're just people who are really close to me. Imagine that they have the tattoo, my tattoo. One has it on his arm and the other has it on his chest. They got that tattooed. That's awesome. And Lobo has this tattoo. Other people have this tattoo. Lobo has my name on his chest, Lobo. Imagine. And I'll tell you, I think one of the moments in my career was having the guys fight 3 rounds and then disappear somewhere. Then having Kajaiba and Lobo enter the stadium circuit and really stand out was a turning point. And with that turning point, when they started to stand out and become stadium champions and do those things, which was very hard for a foreigner to achieve, there had been a few other foreigners who did it, but very few. And besides being champions, they fought in events where very few foreigners ever fought. And then having done that brought these guys. That's when the Thais started coming. I've trained them. I've already trained Pampayake. I've already trained Nanglalekwe. I've already trained Super Bowl. I've trained several guys. The big names have already come through, many great ones. I've already gone there to help them. They've already called me to help. So I think it was kind of a turning point. And what I feel about that is, we were just joking about hearing compliments from others. I'm a very self-critical person. So it's one thing to hear a compliment from someone. Obviously, it's always nice to have people's affection, the recognition. But when you hear a compliment from someone you respect a lot, someone you know really understands the sport, it's different. So I think one of the moments, there were a few moments in my career when I stopped and thought, wow. One time was when his father said I was one of his favorite coaches. And his father praises me a lot and likes me, but he says, there are a lot of good coaches, Leo, but the ones who are really dedicated and are there for the athlete, you can count on your fingers. He says that a lot. And when the coach, the owner of FE Group, which is where Butchers trains, right? He said he watched my videos, he liked my videos. He said, you are a very good coach. The owner of the gym said that. And Yotin, who is one of the main fighters at this gym, said he watched my videos to learn how to teach. And I said, are you crazy? Why do you watch my videos? Are you nuts? He said, no, Leo. Fighting is one thing, teaching is another. It's very different. We have to learn how to teach. The best fighter. A fighter can be very good, but that doesn't mean he knows how to teach.
The best fighter, for sure. That's not what will make him a good teacher.
It's rare for fighters who are very, very special to become good coaches. It's rare. And I believe those things mattered. Hearing from certain people, hearing from the Thai media, the way the media talks about me. The media specializes in the sport, in the way they talk about me. That's what happened. And the respect that I have. I say that all my fighters have their own belts. The belt I have is the respect I earned from them.
We see a lot of Brazilians. There are already several Brazilians who are world champions in there. But as for coaches, there are only a few coaches.
Not Brazilian? I can say that I may not have been the first, but the one who made it work and made things change, I was the first, for sure.
It's the first, right, man? We see very few coaches.
I get messages from coaches worldwide.
I mean, there may be more Brazilian coaches, but for a fighter to become a world champion and for a coach to reach the level of being considered and sought after by the best, that's something else. In Thailand, we know they protect Muay Thai as a product.
It's theirs.
It's theirs.
And it's very hard for them to open this.
They're very closed off.
But it's also that they really believe in results. You can be very good, but if you don't have results, they respect the results. They're really focused on results, you know. And I say that a lot. One thing is when you see those big gyms, Thai gyms, famous gyms, and they just leave a trainer there to hold pads. Another thing is the situation I found myself in, which was a gym for foreigners, a small gym. And I didn't have anyone backing me. I didn't have anyone to take me under their wing or help me to put the guys in the right places or help them with gamblers or anything. I had nothing. They gave me a sickle and a thicket, and the sickle was dull, and I kept hacking away and made my way there, and I made it among the greats.
It's a pleasure to see the work from the very beginning, you know, man.
You started way back before everything.
I remember when we got there was a tent, just one tent.
There were 3 bags.
There were bags and some gravel, right? That's how the gym was at first. And today, when you get there, it's beautiful, that whole structure.
These days, the gym nearly fills an entire block.
The gym, it's really beautiful. Last time I went, you mentioned it's much bigger now, right?
Imagine that nowadays, in our afternoon session, just for Muay Thai, not counting the other things they have there, just during Muay Thai time, there are about 100 people training at that time.
Leo, let's talk a little about controversial topics. Let's do it. Let's do it. I see in Brazil, for example, let's compare Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. We don't see the Jiu-Jitsu crowd criticizing each other as much as the Muay Thai crowd, right? You're also into Jiu-Jitsu, right? And we, man, go on the internet to check out the adjustments each person makes to their game, right? How about the little beans, you?
You might not even like him. In Jiu-Jitsu, you might not even like the guy, but you don't waste your time there criticizing. And
in Muay Thai, we see that a lot, man.
You don't see me doing that, but a lot of people do.
Me neither.
Here's what I said. We discussed it. Me neither. You might see me in controversies, but never talking about Jiu-Jitsu. That won't happen.
That part,
I'm out. I have plenty of problems, but you'll never catch me talking about anyone else.
I'm a fan of talk about me. Let's have a good conversation. Let's talk about ourselves.
I believe that when you talk about others, you reveal more about yourself, you know? When you speak badly about someone, you're talking more about yourself than about the other person.
So there was something going on the internet just recently, even this past week, you talking about running, right? About the long run we do in Thailand, which is a Muay Thai tradition. And that really...
I'll be honest, it's a Muay Thai tradition, you know, combat sports. In wrestling, people run. Yes, in boxing, they run. The guy even said today, man, Marave said he used to run for so many hours a day.
But let's be honest, in Muay Thai, we run way more than anyone else.
Because we run every day.
Twice a day, right? That's right. So, but I see it like this. Look, I'm also from the academic field, and I tell people, man, there's something called theory and practice.
They are 2 different worlds.
They are, and the 2 go hand in hand.
To truly understand both, you must experience them.
Those 2 things don't define the work.
And there's no recipe.
It's art. That's why physical preparation is an art. Building an athlete is an art, right?
The video was nothing more than someone who just filmed there and posted something in the middle of the situation because the person liked it when I started talking, but it caught me already in the middle of talking. And in the video I say that because whoever said we run to build stamina to feel good, that's not it. I don't believe that. My theory about running isn't like that. And I believe that the Thai's theory, when he says you'll get strong from running, it's not about stamina, you won't get physically stronger, it's about being mentally strong, it's about balance, you'll have balance. Just imagine. We run 10 kilometers just to start training. At no point in that video did I say this is good for you. That's not it. It has nothing to do with that. I never said this is good for you, because it's not good for you. Me training Muay Thai with you without running, training every day won't be good either. If I get punched every day, it won't be good for me. It's not good for someone to start fighting at 8 years old. This here, when you talk about high level, high performance, it has nothing to do with health. No.
It has nothing to do with it. So there are many ways to cook beans, yes.
The 3 of us here are going to make the same food in the same kitchen, and we'll get 3 different flavors.
That's not it, man. And I'm the kind of guy who's obsessed with understanding how you see the fight, you know, and how you see putting together a camp and preparing an athlete for a fight. You know, man, Thailand changed my life, the way I see things, you know, because it broke with all of that. all those academic parameters of building and calculating a training macrocycle and mesocycle.
I say this a lot. Fighting is a calculation, but it's not an exact calculation. It doesn't work like that. 1 + 1 is 2, but in fighting, it's not always 2.
Not always.
Not always. It doesn't mean that it won't. Sometimes it will be 2.
So then I started talking about the 5 pillars when I started over there, man. The tactical pillar, the technical pillar, the physical pillar, the psychological one, and nutrition, you know. And then when did the psychology part come into the training? Man, a weak guy can't run 10 kilometer, can't do 300 knee strikes.
Imagine you run 10 kilometers, your legs are already dead after running 10 kilometers, and you still have to go and spar after those 10 kilometers. But that's crazy. You won't train well, but who said it's for you to train well? It's for you to fight well.
That's your preparation.
If you just want to think about training well, you're just feeding your ego. You're not building your athletic, physical, and technical conditioning. Do you see how people start from that way of thinking? I have to train well to perform well, but training and competition are two totally different things. That's why we see a lot of guys who are lions in the gym, but when it's time to fight, they're not. Training just to train is a whole different world from competing. There are a lot of guys who are really good at training, but not so good at competing. And there are others who aren't good at training. And when they transform, you know?
Já viu isso várias vezes, eu tenho certeza.
So that's what I said, guys. Science is here to help us. That's a fact. And physical preparation is also here to help us. But fighting also has its own physical preparation, which is a kind of physical preparation too. The part that's about fighting, about fight situations you go through in a fight. You'll do it over and over until you can't take it anymore. So that it becomes natural, so that when you're dead tired with your legs worn out, when you can't even lift your leg normally, your leg will still be able to throw a kick because you've done it so many times. If someone asks you to squat, you can't, but you can kick easily because you do it every day. It's natural and automatic for your body, you know? That's what I'm saying. It's not just about the theory written there. You have to put it into practice, guys, and how. And another thing, like we talked about, it's one thing to experience it in practice at one level. It's another thing to live the practice at a different level. Whoever is going to post something and talk, show me the high-level athlete they've trained and coached so we can talk. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my time.
Now, I want to ask, from what I've seen, what makes Leo different, brother?
What are you? Is Leo just Leo? He goes in there and he'll go all the way, and when she's in a bikini, she's in a bikini. I think about why Leo is so famous today and why he is different from everyone else.
ก็คิดว่า I wonder why Leo is so popular these days, why he's so famous, but why Leo is different from those people. I think about that. I did my best not to overdo it. แม่อะไรเนี่ยคือตั้งใจ I did it in my own way. I love Muay Thai and I love what I do. If it's too dry, it just doesn't have heart. ในรายละเอียดว่า
It's good to have your own style in the end.
ทำแบบนี้ทำแบบนี้
He said that he believes I am very hardworking. He has never seen me complaining. He has never seen me complaining, and I'm always there. He has never seen me complaining about being there, complaining about being tired, complaining about not feeling well. I'm always there. And he said, and the heart, he always puts his heart into the details. You have to train like this. You have to do it like this in the smallest details. That's what you like to say, that I like to stay there in the details. And he says, I'm really like that I'm always there focusing on the details. No, always fixing something here or there.
Yeah, guys, that's how it was. And you're hearing this from a guy who comes from a very traditional background, from a very traditional family, a champion.
Imagine that the fighter I mentioned, from their family, the least famous one, probably has 200 fights. He has 300, Kiewpayak has 500, and Kiewpayak must have around 300 or 400. That adds up to more than 1,000 fights in one family, under one roof. Consider how much fighting experience these guys have, while their father, who raised them all, has no fighting experience and never fought.
The father never fought.
Do you know who held the pads for them early in their careers? Since their father was already old, their mother did. Look.
That's awesome, brother.
It's just like Mep, just like Lopal.
That's cool, man. And has she ever fought?
No, Mep, we played with Mep, man. Mep. He never fought. Man, their mother and father never fought. They've always lived for fighting, experiencing, watching, and passionately engaging in it for as long as they can remember.
That's awesome, brother.
Just a little cameo, right? And what's
cool?
She said, I said, was training with mom easy? He said, no. She just hit me and made me do 10-10 in the fight, bro.
What's your goal in fighting now?
ทุกวันเนี่ยความ
Palmay kong bigit na lay. Tukani kito lalay. Ya palmay alay. Madia lau, tamia lau, lau day, lau, 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 palmay alay.
Right now, I want to be the champion of Lacharam. Well, right now, I want to be a champion. I've already become the Raja Damnern champion, so now I have to defend my title. In the past, I only focused on boxing, but now we can see it as business. We can be so famous. We can open a gym. We can do anything. We are studying.
เรียนกำลังศึกษาอะไรเรื่องพวกนี้
He said that since he was a child, his life has always been about fighting. But nowadays, from what he said, he has become closer to me and to people who help him understand life better. He said that in the past, all he thought about was fighting, and even today, he still thinks about fighting. He wants to go as far as he can. He has his legacy, but he still wants more. He said he wants to win the Raja belt now because he was already the Lumpini champion, and now he wants to win the Raja belt. But he wants to learn from this. He sees that nowadays fighting involves many things. Here, doing an interview, he's coming to give seminars around the world, making money, going here and there. He can make a living. We discussed the seminar idea at length. Just to give you an idea, he and his brother are exceptional fighters. I did one before I traveled with him, and before I started taking them to give seminars, I talked to them. Let's have a class on giving seminars. You'll present a seminar that I need to enjoy. It's not just about teaching your favorite techniques, since anyone can do that. What would actually be useful for me to learn? I told them, I'm a foreigner, I don't have the skills you have, I don't have 400 fights, teach me something that will be work for me. And then they started, and then he could see the seminar we gave today with you. He helped me put it together to think about everything. These things help people as skilled as him, but how can they benefit ordinary people who can't try?
And you know, that's a big training factor for your athlete, you know, Leo? Having your athlete verbalize the way he sees the fight helps you in his training too, right?
Because it's very easy for them to talk about fighting and to fight, to say, go, do something, and bam. But what you did there, you can teach it. But the person you're going to teach, can they do it? A seminar isn't just about fame, guys. There will be people who don't have a name like him, his brother Sanjay, and so on. You'll want to see what they're doing, and what he teaches will be valuable for you too. It's like coming here and having him and his brother teach you everything they do. 80, 90, 85 won't be able to do what they're doing, but I told them, you have to think of something and teach something that will be useful, that's real, high level, and good. So you think about something that will help a fighter. Both the grandson, the doctor, the tall one, and the special one. So I really like that they put effort into giving me the training. So I kind of trained. And they gave a seminar because I told them to give a seminar. It's not just about being good. It's not just about having technique, but you need what? You need to have teaching skills, and you need to have flow. There has to be something that makes sense with the next one. It's no use teaching you a technique that has nothing to do with the next technique. And like it or not, I've given a lot of seminars all over the world. So I have a bit of experience in this, and I really demand that from them these days. English, he's been watching the Americans, he's learning how to study, so they're already good fighters. I want more than that. I want that when they stop, instead of having one door to open, they have 10 doors and they get to choose which doors they want to open. With business, because this is going to be a business, he even said it himself. Now I see that everything is business in the sense that, hey, I can come nowadays, I have sponsorships, I can negotiate with sponsors, I have sponsors. I can come on the podcast, I can give an interview, I can give a seminar, I can teach an online class. So there are a lot of things. Muay Thai isn't just one style. You can't be narrow-minded. You need to broaden your perspective.
You have to adapt to what the world also brings to us.
And use what's available. And today, thank God, I see it, I'll be honest with you. In their current position, both of them have a name, they have a title, they have everything. They can already earn more. They can, of course, but what makes me happiest is seeing them open their minds and how open-minded they are. Since Asians are not people who easily open their minds, it's not Thalis, it's the Asian, because they are very traditional, and he's really like that. I told him, I want you to get an American visa, and he went after it. He got his American visa, he got his Australian visa. He's a different kind of kid.
The citizen of the world today.
He knows he doesn't have to just be there with that. He has the whole world for him to use.
Let's go for one more. I think I still haven't asked you this question on the internet. It was also a source of a lot of criticism. It was your relationship with Paloma. And I think I didn't ask you on my social media about that moment. And a lot of people reached out to me, man, from all over the world. A lot of people reached out asking what I thought about that, you know? And I'm not even going to ask about your relationship with her because I know it's a relationship with a lot of affection and care on both sides. But do you see any difference? For example, there are athletes that I have to praise, there are athletes that I have to scold, and there are athletes that I just have to be there for.
I think it's all about feeling.
Can you, Leo, see at 38?
Nowadays, I'll tell you, I learned a lot over time too. Who thinks they know everything actually knows nothing, you know? So I learned a lot over time, but I've always relied a lot on my gut feeling, and thank God my gut feeling made me make few mistakes in my life. I made many mistakes, but they were attempts to do things right. My instincts influenced even my errors. I don't regret making mistakes when I followed my gut feeling because I made mistakes trying to get it right, and I see that I always made mistakes thinking about their well-being. So for me, both that situation and others that were even worse, with men, with women, with parakeets, with dogs, with parrots, for me it's not about gender. There's just an athlete, and I will have the same expectations.
The general and the soldier in the trench.
I'm there to push my athlete. Everyone reacts differently, but I know her and how she responds, so I knew what I was doing. Did you regret it? No. If I had to do it again, I would, even if I knew it would cause all the trouble it did.
I would do it, but can you understand the way I saw it?
Então,
Gosta
You know, imagine they're your children, not just your athletes. There comes a moment when the fighters become your children. You look at the guy, you know when he's okay, when he's not okay, you know how to pull him out. But you know that everyone deals with the situation in their own way.
I had a ritual before my athletes went in. I would slap them, and I did it to all of them. After 40, I started to ask, do you like it, man? Some replied, no, I don't like it. Then why didn't you say so? You get it? And several still like it. William slapped me. You get it?
I think it depends on the person, and I believe so. Would I do everything I did back then?
No, but do you have an entrance ritual for him?
I don't have an entrance ritual. Yes, I really trust my gut feeling in that sense. I've never done anything to any athlete that I wouldn't want done to me.
Yeah, I used to like taking it. The guy comes in.
Getting all hyped up. They already saw me pushing Paloma, shaking her to wake her up. I've never slapped anyone in the face. Like, it happens a lot, especially in Thailand, because that's their thing. I've never slapped anyone in the face or hit their head since I wouldn't want that done to me. But I have hit someone on the shoulder and stomach. I've done things, but I've never done anything to someone that I wouldn't want done to me. And I say I had, you know this very well, I had thousands of athletes, many athletes. And no athlete ever left me because of any of that. I never had an athlete who left. The ones who left did so because I kicked them out. It was because I expelled them. The few who left, it was because I expelled them. A rotten orange spoils the whole basket.
Right, Neguinho?
Or if I wasn't supposed to be there then, or if I didn't kick him out, I made him leave. I put him in a situation he didn't want where he was suffering, so he left on his own. Because either he was going to show everyone that he was going to change, and he was going to understand that the group is more important than the individual, or he was going to make everyone keep thinking that he was only thinking about himself, not the group. Because for me, it's like a national team. The name of the team is the name of the country, which is big. The person's name is small there, so my team is my team. It's not about me here. It's not him. It's not the team. It's us. It's not just one person. I'm here for the team. And Leo,
Here in Brazil, we have one. Muay Thai is a tool for social liberation. We don't work only with athletes like it is in Thailand, right? We work with the commercial crowd, the commercial public, and the commercial public. He uses Muay Thai to let off steam, to free himself from the prisons he has inside, psychological and all that. And it saved me, you know. When I lost my eye, I created a monster, and Muay Thai was that outlet. And man, today I have a motto, which is to bring Muay Thai to more people so that we can encourage and provide better quality instruction. Because the way we started in Muay Thai back then, it was really exclusive. And I have a motto, which is that every experience lived on my mat should add something to that person's life. Outside the gym, and most importantly, inside their home, right, brother? And I see that you really have that, man, with the kids. I was there on the first day that Kiewpayak arrived, man.
you saw these kids suffering a lot at my hands.
Already quiet, keeping to himself. And before Kiewpayak, I had already seen Lobo acting crazy a lot.
And just so you know, Kiewpayak and Lobo fought in Brazil twice. And when Kiewpayak arrived in Thailand, I went up to Lobo and said, Lobo, Kiewpayak is coming. He said, no, it's fine. Like, he's fine. There was nothing against him. But those who fought each other know how it was back then. I said, you have a mission this week. He looked at me and I said, you're going to take care of Kiewpayak. You're going to take him to a quiet place. You're going to show him where he's going to eat. You're going to spend the week teaching him how to live here. He said, okay, you know your mission, right? Me. Why? Because I did that to break it up. Because I didn't want any rivalry. I didn't want any. I wanted that sense of people looking out for each other here, and one helps the other. Rivalry inside the gym. My brother, I didn't want any ego, nothing. So I already broke it there. Before Kiewpayak arrived, I already broke it. I said the one who thinks he's going to be the biggest rival is the one who will have to help him the most. And later they became the main training partners. Each one knew what the other went through because they both trained with me, and both knew how hard it was to be in that position. And one helped and supported the other for many years.
That's awesome, right, guys? And you see that they're different roles within the same sport, right?
It's really about teaching behavior. It's not just about teaching fighting, right? Because you have to, nobody's perfect. Everyone has their flaws, but you have to try to make the people who are following you at least stumble less than we did, you know? They don't need to stumble the same way just to be tough. No, we can show them the way and guide them in a better way.
You know? And how do you see the issue of that legacy we brought from the old days of jiu-jitsu, the rivalry between teams, where one team couldn't open a gym next to another? And man, when I got there at Soy Toyeri,
There are 1,000 gyms.
bro, how long is that street? 2 kilometers?
Something like that.
At most. Por aí no máximo, né? Man,
There are 8 gyms.
8 Muay Thai gyms.
There are 6 over there.
I say that whole place is one big gym.
We're on the other street, which only has 2. There's one, but it's us. But the street by Tiger, the one we're talking about, is the one with lots of gyms. Nowadays, there must be about 8 gyms.
It's a fitness world.
And besides having a lot of fight gyms, there are also many CrossFit and bodybuilding gyms.
What's the relationship like? Maybe Binho can help us here too. What's the relationship between the gyms? Is there this thing of one wanting?
They don't even understand this because they don't have it. No,
Don't they have that?
they don't have it. For them, it's natural and just about competing. Sometimes after fighting the same opponent many times, they become good friends. They're very friendly with each other. At my gym, there was a famous guy who was the champion when I joined at Satsipapa, which was some rank. Satsipapa, And he had a guy that he fought and did fights of the year there, which were fights, Canal 7 fight of the year, the most violent and craziest fight of the year. It was against Siui. The kid's name was Siui. And they were very good friends. They fought 9 times in total, and they were very good friends. And when they had them fight, it was a bloodbath. It wasn't a fight. After leaving, they remained friends, hanging out, joking and talking as usual. Wow, look at where you hit here. Look at where you hit here. It was really crazy. You'd say, it's impossible for these guys to really like each other. They're killing each other. They weren't fighting. They were killing each other. But they were really good friends, you know? So they don't really have that. And I believe that even between the gyms, guys, I believe that rivalry is great, right? Rivalry is great in the sense that you get something good out of rivalry. You have a gym, and I want to see that, man. Your gym is doing well. I want my gym to do well too. That's my rivalry. I don't want your gym to be doing badly. I would never want that because for me, I really believe in energy. If you put out bad energy, that energy comes back to you.
It won't. Back then, in my neighborhood, only mine had to be there.
They couldn't even meet, couldn't even talk to each other, couldn't even be friends.
And then I went there, I saw that street, I was impressed.
I'm a friend. Alicia is about to have one of the most important fights of her career now, which is with the Thai fighter Petidia. I'm very good friends with Petidia's coach. He's like, I'm kind of his godfather. The guy is Thai famous, just imagine, and he follows me. He's liked me for many years. Suddenly this happens, he calls me, we talk, and we're good friends. He already said, Leo, it's just work, they'll fight. That's how it is. It's normal, just work. It's work, man.
And that's the truth, right? Our sport will only be successful if all of us are successful.
Of course. I don't believe in a situation where one day someone offers me money and I have to fight you. I wouldn't fight because it's about respect. It's different. I see it as work when it's two guys who know each other and are friends but weren't friends before the fight. That's different. Either I have to do it or they pay me to have him fight Lobo, who is my student. So I would never want that. I don't believe in that situation. But people we know, we interact with because we're in the fighting scene there. We interact, but for me, this is work. Even if I don't need to be someone's friend, that doesn't mean I have to be their enemy, you know? So for me, it's a job. If I don't fight them, I'll have to find them another opponent.
That's my camera and yours is over there, right? Give a message or something to the people out there.
What did you mean by that?
I don't know, just a thought.
Good message, guys. It's value your sport, whatever it may be. I'm really crazy. I'm someone who, imagine, I didn't even finish school. And nowadays I've seen the whole world. And I have the privilege of having a very good quality of life because of Muay Thai. But I valued this sport. I valued it. I believed in it. I tell a lot of people, guys, I spent many days of my life along this journey without money, but I never spent a single day in my life without hope, you know? Not having money is one thing, but if you don't have hope, you don't have anything left, you know? I always hoped I could make things happen. And I, more than anyone, believed in my own work. And my own work brought me here to other places, to very high places that I never imagined I would reach. Nowadays, I give talks to the police, to lots of people and at companies. I never imagined reaching this point. While talking, I never thought Muay Thai would take me this far. Nowadays, I give seminars and some of them have 250 or 300 people. I travel worldwide and people ask me to come. In the United States, I gave seminars attended only by Americans. I went to Japan and everyone in my seminar was Japanese. So all of this happened because I believed in what I was doing. Whatever sport you play or whatever profession you have, what will make it work is how you do it, not the profession itself.
During the pandemic, a lot of people, many friends came to me and said, hey, master, get me a job. You have a lot of connections and all that. What do you do? Anything. I said, no, brother. What's your trade? You get it? Love doing something. Love offering to solve someone's problem. If you love something, someone will value you, brother.
I believe that everything in life comes in phases and you have to know how to give 100% of yourself in each phase of your life. You can believe it. I was an athlete, but I wasn't half the athlete that I helped many athletes become. I tried to be the best athlete I could and gave my all. And when I became a coach, my main goal at first, what I had in mind was to give them what I didn't have for myself, to have someone there, some support, a path, a roadmap.
Have you ever heard that if every citizen helps 5 people in the world, if each of us helps 5 people in the world to change their lives, this world would be much better? Brother, you've already helped 5. At least, right? But it's way more than that, you know? So, man, I think the world needs more Leo Elias, man.
There are people who try. I believe I have a religion. I ask my religion. My religion is to try to do for others what I would like them to do for me.
That's the first commandment.
That's what I do. I try to do for others what I would like them to do for me. That's really it. I said in a lecture recently that Pedrinho Novaes' father once helped me. I was in a bad situation. I was just starting out as a coach, coaching him. Guys, I didn't have money for dinner. I didn't have money to eat, nothing. And it was a situation where I didn't know what to do, but I hadn't talked to anyone about it. He looked at me and asked, "Are you okay?" I replied, "I'm fine." He said, "It's tough." I said, I even joked about it. Tough is our normal. Then he said, "No, but here, take it." He shook my hand and gave me 3,000 baht at the time. And out of nowhere, and I said, "No, you don't have to. I never liked that. Never. I've always been a tough person in the sense of not needing favors. I never liked it." And I said, "No, you don't have to." He said, "No, take it. Don't worry." And he never asked me to pay it back, never mentioned it to me. He just said, everyone has gone through a moment like that. I remember clearly him saying something like that. Everyone has needed help, and he had already gone through that himself. And that really stuck in my mind. And I've had several, I don't need to say here, but I've had several opportunities, several moments where I could help people, several people financially. And the person said, "No, Leo, are you crazy?" Some time ago, I won't mention the person, but the situation, the person was behind on their rent. And I said, "But what happened?" "No, I got behind here." I said, "But how many days?" "Man, 2 days, Leo." "I'll pay you back later. You have to help me." I said, "Give me the realtor's PIX details." I went and paid 6 months rent. I said, "Look, you have 4 months to get your life together now. I'm not asking you to change your life, but you need to get it together so you can catch a break, breathe, and figure out your next steps." He said, "No, are you crazy, Leo? How could I ever pay you back?" I replied, "I'm not asking you to pay me back. Just pay it forward someday when you're doing well and someone else is struggling. That way it'll be settled. This money won't change my life. I'm really fine. I'm good. Everything in my life is fine. Just pay it forward. The next person you help will also pay it forward, and the cycle continues."
That's the message, guys. Did you see this? This is a great example of this is empathy, man. Empathy isn't giving a plate of food to someone in need and posting it on Facebook just to show you're doing something good, you know? You get it? That's helping. Ask Big if he has a message for our Big.
Do you have a message for the soccer fans? Do you have a message about soccer?
พูดอะไรมาจากใจอะไรมาจากคน
It's from someone who wants to box, wants to get strong.
คนคิดทุกวันนี้มันใหญ่
People these days still don't know whether to stop or not. Theometrical to a line. There's something to say to everyone they see. Mong Bing to Panier.
Tubanier,
Who wants to listen?
if you want
ก็อยาก
if you want to be a player, if you want to be a good player, if you choose if you want to be a player, if you want to be a player, if you want to play sports, I hope you have a good sport. You may come or go, but try, don't give up. Bye. If you want to develop yourself, you have to
เราก็ต้อง
study and have to, man, if you just want to wait for your teacher to teach you everything, you can still improve, but it might not be fast. If you want to develop quickly, when we're at the camp or something like that, we see the teacher, right? We see this person kicking, right? And then
ไม่เร็ว ถ้าเราอยากพัฒนาเร็ว เวลาเราอยู่ที่ค่ายอยู่ที่อะไรเนี่ยเราเห็นเทรนเนอร์ล่อเป้า เราเห็นคนนี้เตะเป้าแล้วก็
it's not fast. If we want to improve quickly, when we're at the camp, when we're around, we see the trainer, right? We see this person kicking, right? And what are they good at? What are they good at? We go and steal it from them. Whoever punches OTB, for example, in a certain way, with good technique, we learn from them.
คนนี้แทงเข่าดีแล้วก็ไปขโมยเข้ามา คนนี้ฟันศอกดีเขาทำยังไง แล้วก็ไปขโมยเข้ามา อุ้ยเราทำอันนี้ไม่เก่งนะ
Oh, and now I have people criticizing me.
เราไม่สามารถเก่งทุกอย่างได้ มันจะมีอะไรที่เราอยากพัฒนาเราก็ไป
Go learn from people who are better than you. Sometimes I watch them play. Now I go and watch them. And then I use the voice of people. Some are great, some are worth it, some because sometimes you have to think.
ถ้าเราอยากเก่งจริงๆ เราก็ต้องไปศึกษาเพิ่ม
He said, if you want to become a fighter or get very good at Muay Thai, always seek to learn, always be willing to learn. and learn in every way. Don't depend only on your coach to teach you. Rely on yourself, be at the gym, watch people train and learn. No one is good enough at everything, he said. Everyone has something they can teach you. This guy throws a good punch, that guy has a good elbow, that guy knows how to clinch. He said it's like a thief, but you use it in a good way. You go and steal what's good from him, you watch what he does well. I'm going to steal that technique, I'm going to steal that technique, I'm going to steal that technique. And you keep improving, so you're always going to get better. You have to believe that you always have something to improve. There are people better than you to teach you. This boy taught me a lot, as you can see. This season in Brazil, I'm his coach, but I learned a lot from him. The other day, he told me in one of our conversations at the end of the lecture, they asked him, what was the most special thing that happened in your career? He said, until recently, I had already been the breakout fighter in Thailand, Lumpini champion. I'm a famous guy there. Everyone knows me, fighter of the year. And I thought that was something special in my life. He said, nowadays, one of the most special things in my life was coming to Brazil and seeing how much people want to come learn from me and that I can teach 200 people, 300 people. And nowadays, one of the most special things in my life was coming here, seeing the affection and love people show when they want to learn from me, for being with me, for being willing to learn, for being willing to listen to me. And that really changed my perspective. He said, and I was surprised by his answer.
And you can see that he's an incredibly humble kid.
A giant.
A giant, such a gentle look, such simplicity. If it was about bringing me into our soccer world, the guy won the Golden Globe. Man, how would he sit here? Here.
Right? I know, I like to think that the special ones at this level, they're special. Outside of there too, you know? Because to reach a very, very different level, you have to be different.
You have to be, right? You have to be. Brother, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I love you, B. Me too.
You're a guy who, when I look at you, I see a sweet person, a very kind person. I don't know if you noticed, he stayed close. That was the pair he most wanted to help.
It was the kids. He likes kids.
And that right there, my brother Mano.
You bring in that energy, you know, brother? Bye-bye.
That's where he got me, brother. That's where he got me. That's when I said, man, this kid is, I say.
Like they asked me back there in Bochecha's case at the seminar, and they asked me, what's the most special thing about these guys? I'll be honest, guys. They asked me two things that really stuck in my head. And one was, what was the most important title I won as a coach? And my most important title was, nowadays, being able to help my family. When they need something, when there's something I can help with, that's my title. No title is more important to me than that. It's being able to see that they have a problem and I can solve it for them, or I can help them. And the second is having special people by my side. Nowadays, to be honest, I don't even know if I deserve so many special people like I have by my side.
So it's special, my brother.
But it's really crazy to see how many special people God has put in my life like that. And I thank God for that, even more than for the two biggest accomplishments in my life.
Humility is something that, man, is inherent in special people, man. You know, so, man, I'm more and more a fan of your work and of you as a person, you know, my brother.
I'm a fan, I've already said it. I'm not a fan of Rangel Farias, the famous guy, because I'm much more a fan of Rangel Farias, the person who I met years ago, and he's still the same person.
I say that the internet is a double-edged sword.
I said this the other day, it's the same thing.
But people who aren't real, they come and go. They go and go. That's right, you know? That's right. But not us, man. It wasn't easy for us.
And I don't believe that I'm not saying I'm a famous person, but I believe we got to the level we did because we wanted to be there. It was something natural. It was something natural that happened.
Especially 20 years ago, right, Leo? You know?
So it's something I say, like I said today at the seminar, I never became famous. And you've already pushed me a lot. Do more of this, do more of that. I've never been an internet person. Thank God I had Vanessa to keep pushing, making things happen and changing my mindset.
And behind the scenes, wow, he's really stubborn. My God, he doesn't accept things.
I'll be honest, I often tell her I think things turned out this way because of who I am. Because if I had tried back then, I don't believe it was my time yet.
I see it. I'm you 5 years ago, you know? I'm a little further ahead on the internet, you know? But I used to think the same way. I used to say, oh, I'll never do that. That's crazy. Bro, when I did it, when of course I connected with the right people, you know? And they made it happen, I said, man, I should have done it sooner.
I believe everything happens in God's time, in life's time. I believe that even I wouldn't have been ready to have it. Nowadays, it's hard for me to even say this because you know I'm a really chill guy. But the success I have today in Brazil, everywhere I go, I don't even know if I would have been ready for it back then if I had it, you know? Because I believe you need to have the right mindset, your head in the right place, everything to have maturity, you know? So like I said back at the seminar, I've already reached the top of this sport many times, you know? How many people would have gotten lost in that, you know? And thank God I had a lot of problems. They were problems I caused because that's just how I am. That's the way I am. One time the owner of the gym said that to me and it stuck in my head. The client said, Leo, you're a very difficult person, but what makes you special is the way you are, you know? And I know that this difficult way of being myself, you know, that's what got me here to that moment, you understand?
Guys, let's wrap up our chat here with these two legends, you know? And I'm already looking forward to the next time they come to Brazil.
I always come here because it feels like home.
And me, this year I'm going there.
You already have a house there and know everything, so it's fine.
This year I'm going. Last year I couldn't, but this year I'm going.
Come on, you're going to like it. The gym is awesome. Let's go. We're in this together.
Guys, let's go.